What's up, YouTube? It's EarthEagleGT with,
Hey guys, what's up? It's Thermal11 here.
and we're doing a Season 3 review of Steven Universe. Now, we both have been doing like our equal reviews on each of our channels, so you can check it out on his channel and my own channel. So definitely check that out. We both have different outlooks and how we perceive the episode, so very interesting if you want to check those out. And yeah, Sermel came up to me, and we've done a bunch of videos in the past, and he was like, let's do a Season 3 review of Steven Universe, so now we're here.
Yeah, I think the last one we did was over Gravity Falls.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we can do more discussions like this because they're definitely fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I can get started, right?
Yep.
So Season 3 of Steven Universe started off with the event Into Deep, and then it ended with the Summer of Steven, which has been going on for the last few months. I thought in Into Deep it was going to be super dramatic based off of the title, but it really wasn't. They made it seem like they were building up to something extreme, and then it ended up being very anticlimactic. And this season was good all the way through, though. I really enjoyed it, and there was rarely any episode that I didn't like in some way.
Mm-hmm. Same. I feel the same. Like, it's for me, I think this season is the most story-driven out of all the 3 seasons combined.
Most definitely.
The first season was kind of more of an introduction, and then that latter half of that first season really like amped up when we learned about like Ruby and Sapphire. Then that second season was kind of like dealing with a lot of the stuff we learned the first season, and this third season's kind of like taking everything we know and now putting it into action. Because now they're trying to stop the I can't remember what the cluster.
Mm-hmm.
And well, at least at the beginning of the season, they're trying to stop the cluster, and then it kind of, after they do that, it turns into more of like character pieces. Like now a bunch of these characters are getting their own little episodes and progressing and growing as characters too. So I really, yeah, this is definitely my favorite season out of all 3.
Yeah, you can't quote me on this, but I think in Season 1 it was more like them going on missions and then more adventures around the town, and then it kind of built up to the whole season finale and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're done with that part, I guess I can go into the summary.
Yep.
So the season shows the return of Jasper and Lapis in the form of Malachite. They end up getting defeated. The gems save Lapis, and Steven and Peridot head to the cluster. Steven actually ends up bubbling the cluster, and the group of rubies come to Earth looking for Jasper. The gems direct the rubies to Neptune. Then there were some episodes focusing on people in the town.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought these episodes were needed since the show has been doing a lot of plot lines back to back to back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we see that Steven's healing powers return, and he tries to heal the Centipedal, who becomes somewhat more human-like for a little bit. She couldn't speak, but she could draw, and her drawings directed the gems to her friends, and she was taken there while she slowly transformed back into, I guess, a corrupted gem or like some form of monster or something. And then Jasper ends up returning here and there, and we see that Jasper wants to see Lapis again, and Jasper is making an army of gem monsters, and she ends up fighting Amethyst. Then Amethyst becomes obsessed with fighting Jasper and is also upset that Steven has become stronger than her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ends up rescuing Connie. And then Steven goes inside Lion. He ends up accidentally freeing a gem. And this window came up. He ends up freeing a gem by the name of Bismuth. And Bismuth was in the war with his mom. And Bismuth wanted to use a weapon to break gems. And she ended up getting bubbled by Rose, and she tries to attack Steven, who ends up stabbing her and bubbling her just like his mom did. So Steven, Peridot, and Amethyst go to Jasper's kindergarten, and they find her there with her gem army. She ends up fighting Amethyst again, and Amethyst loses just like the last time.
Mm-hmm.
But Steven is there to comfort her, and this leads to a new fusion called Smoky Quartz. Jasper fuses with a gem mutant, but ends up getting defeated. And we learn that Jasper's diamond is actually Pink Diamond, and Rose shattered her. And it turns out that the rubies are back at the farm. Amethyst pretends to be Jasper, who the rubies look up to, and they end up going to the moon base, but the communication to Homeworld is gone. Check Season 2. And the rubies find out that they've been tricked, and Steven sends them off into space. But he ends up getting pulled by one of the rubies into space, and he has to bubble himself for safety. one of the rubies tries to kill him, so he can't protect her, and he's left to wander into space until the gems find him, and that's season 3.
Yeah. I guess we could just go into our thoughts real quick of this season, because you pretty much you got it the whole thing. And Jasper also got infected when she fused, so now she's in the temple as bubbled with a bunch of the other gems that they've caught. So,
but I think she's gonna come back.
I think she will, because we know where she is. We know where Bismuth is, and we know
Bismuth again.
I mean
Myth.
Moth. No, it's Moth. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I thought it was Bismuth.
I think you're right though. I'm probably wrong. I kept messing up on my video how to pronounce it too.
Lapras.
Okay, we don't need to start there. That was a Pokemon Go had me. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this season, especially the last half of this season where it really, ramped up, and it even makes sense more. Just going into one specific episode, why Bismuth wanted to break gems. It makes sense that why she had this theory, because she probably saw Rose Quartz break Pink Diamond, which at the time it was kind of like, why would she even talk to Rose about this? But I guess in the context that we learn later on in the season, that makes the reason why she would want to do that. And yeah, I hope she comes back. I hope Jasper comes back, and I hope Centipede comes back. And the rubies lost in the space. I don't know how they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna all appear. I don't know how they're gonna get each one, because they kind of all went their own separate ways to drift off into space. And you think the crystal gems would try to go find them, but I guess not. So
I don't know. I feel like the rubies, like, they're really stupid, but then it's just like they're almost like villains in a way, or kind of in the middle, because like they're like, hey, you guys want to ride back, and they're like, what? And then Amethyst is like in her actual form or something, and then they start to attack them, and they're kind of like villains in a way.
Yeah, they're like villains, but they're children. So yeah, that's how I see them, because they're each are very childlike. Because even the leader is kind of like like, yeah, they're all, even Eyeball is very. She's just trying, even though she wanted to kill Steven, they're all just like little kids in a way, taking orders from their yellow diamond. So
she's so freaky looking. Why would they put the gem in her eye? Why would the gem be her eye?
It's a cool design though, because I mean, it makes them all unique. Like, it makes them different.
No, just put it on her back or something. That's gross.
Because that's what I was thinking. Like, oh, maybe she'll come back to Earth and maybe join the team. That's a good way to separate her, because her gem is actually on her eye. So. And they can call her Eyeball or Ruby or whatever, because Garnet would be, Garnet the whole time. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the rubies did join the team. I mean, or came back to Earth somehow. Because I mean, and then even those rubies went to go fuse with other gems. I think that would be interesting, because I don't think Sapphire and Ruby are gonna form with anyone else separately. So I'm excited.
The same anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it wouldn't.
No, it would be different. It would be different, because it'd just be themselves, like.
So it's like Garnet plus something, and then Ruby Sapphire plus something else, like two different situations.
Yeah, so it'd be like if Ruby just formed with Pearl, it'd be whatever that would be, or like, which I think would more be probably like Sapphire and Pearl, but I think I think it would be whatever that case. But I really did enjoy this season. I like the little, you were talking like the breather with the little character episodes. Like, we got to see Kiki Pizza Delivery Service. That was a character that we kind of knew a little bit about, but we got more of an introduction to her. I didn't even know she was a twin to the other sister. I thought she was more like, I don't know, I wasn't really sure what she was. But and then Restaurant Wars, a lot more character episodes of Greg. I'm glad that Pearl and Greg have their own little reunion now. Like, they're actually like getting along now. That was a long time coming, and I'm glad it finally worked out between them, because they did they do have a lot in common, and I guess that the thing that places what they have in common is Rose, so, and that love for Rose. So I'm excited. I really did. Yeah, I like this.
I was actually wondering if Pearl would like fall for Greg now or something.
Nah. I think that'd be interesting, but I think they it probably reminds me of like a husband and then a friend and then like that wife dies and then like they didn't like it's very much like that. And now they're just kind of like, because they were never friends before. Maybe it would get to that point and they'd fall in love, but I don't think so. I think they're just gonna be better friends because I don't know.
I just want to see more of their relationship because after the Mr. Greg episode, we didn't really get anything else on that, and then it just like Mr. Greg was early in the season, wasn't it?
Early in the summer thing.
Summer of Steven, yeah. So I don't know. I want more of that. I thought, but In Too Deep was just a week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a whole week.
So yeah, Mr. Greg is fairly early in the season. So I want to see more of that relationship, and I feel like we're getting to the point where it's almost hard to balance the episodes in Beach City and then the plot-driven episodes, because I want the plot-driven episodes, but then I also want more on like Beach City, and it's like you can't do both.
Yeah,
like,
because they're both so far from each other at this point now. Because those people at Beach City have no idea what's happening with like the main plot with the gyms and the cluster and stuff like that. So unless those characters like a Connie or like you could even say like Lars and Sadie, they've been those are pretty much the only characters of Beach City. Well, Connie's not even from Beach City, but like the only characters that like know what's happening within like the castle in some way. Like Sadie and oh my god, what's his name? Lars, not really, but they were stuck on that gym island for a little bit, so they have some sort of clue to what's happening.
I think well, not everyone, but some of them kind of know. Like they're like superheroes in a way or something. Yeah. They go on missions. They know they do something at least.
But some of them just know more than others. And I want to like, and speaking like Sadie and Lars, I would want them to be more of like into the fighting aspect of it, because I think they could, because they did a lot on that island episode, and they're really much the only friends Steven has in Beach City. I mean, you could argue like the cool kids, but like. I mean, they don't really do it. They're not really a part of like the gym storyline. They're just more a part of the Beach City storyline.
I definitely say that Lars and Sadie are more main characters than the cool kids, pretty much. Yeah. So if I don't really think they'll be getting involved with the gem stuff, but if they were to get involved with the gem stuff, it would probably be them before like the cool kids.
Yeah, it'd make more sense for them before like an Onion or something like.
Onion would just kill everyone. He's too OP. But a few things that I didn't really get to say earlier. I didn't want to interrupt you, but we were talking about Bismuth, and I saw this on the Steven Universe wiki, and someone was saying, not wiki, the Reddit, someone was saying that the shattering a gem is actually worse than killing them, because if you shatter them, they're still conscious. They're just broken into pieces. So
wait, can you kill a gem?
I'm not sure, but you remember the cluster? Those are just like gem shards, and like all these lost thoughts and everything. All these people are lost and stuff. So they said that shattering would be worse than killing someone, because you would still be alive, but your mind would just be scattered everywhere. And another thing that I wanted to bring up was that you were thinking like Bismuth or Jasper might join the team, but don't you think we're getting to the point where there's almost too many gems that are getting focused, or maybe too many members on the team? Because we have Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, Steven, Peridot, and that's the crystal gems right now.
Yeah.
Lapis hasn't officially joined, but she's probably going to join eventually. And then a lot of people think Jasper's going to join, because Jasper's been getting like focus here and there and throughout this entire season. So we have those people, and then I don't know about Bismuth. I don't really like Bismuth, so I was like, I don't want Bismuth joining, but that's like, what, 7 people or something?
Yeah. Well, I think, as of right now, if I'm not wrong, I think Season 4 is supposedly the final season of Steven Universe, unless I'm wrong.
No, Seasons 4 and 5 were announced.
Oh, they renewed 5? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think Seasons 3, 4, and 5 were all announced together.
Oh, okay.
And if you remember, Season 1 was like 52 episodes or something.
Yeah.
Season 2 was that as well. And then
it was 26 episodes, Season 2.
Yeah, they're splitting it up now, because I think Season 3 and Season 4 might have
Season 3 was
together.
25 episodes. And I don't know. It doesn't say for the wiki how long season 4 will be.
I feel like the show wouldn't get canceled. I feel like, if anything, the show would go out on its own terms.
Yeah. I think Rebecca Sugar would definitely want to end it whenever she feels comfortable with it. I still think there's a lot to talk about because we still have to go through each of the diamonds. So with the diamonds that are still alive, like I feel like we have to get some type of introduction to them.
It would suck if we were just like in the Yellow Diamond arc for like 3 seasons, and then they finally go defeat Yellow Diamond in like season 5 or something. And just like, how much of the show is left?
Yeah, because I'm gonna just assume because of the episode with Centipedal that White Diamond is the biggest diamond of them all. I'm gonna just make that assumption that she's the most powerful one because we haven't seen her, and she seems to be the one that's corrupting the gems, if that's any indication to that. But
well, her drawings didn't have any color; it was just black.
No, it was white diamonds because I know it was like black. The outline was paper. Black, but the paper was white, and I think she was trying to signify white diamond. Because the paper was already white, and then she drew diamonds, but it just because it was black, like that's how she made it to be shown, you know.
I believe Peridot said who said this? Peridot or Jasper? I think it was Peridot. There are no corrupted gems on Homeworld.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know, they do this a lot in like different like war movies, or like they kind of kill off everyone that's left to make it seem like it's either bigger, like she did something crazier, or they didn't want as much evidence around. So I feel like that could always, because it's when she draws the thing, it's a white light and it's also sound. So it makes me think that like that White Diamond is the one, like is the leader of the, or if not the leader, but the most powerful diamond of them all. Like maybe Pink Diamond was that before Rose Quartz shattered her, but I definitely think White Diamond was the one, is the one on top.
It could be some sort of like war weapon, or like a reference to like real life or something, where they just use like this big weapon to like end the war. But I don't think the corruption thing ended the war. Right?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what ended the war. I think that's really unclear. And like how.
Wait, who won?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think the Crystal Gems technically won because the Earth is still there, but. Yeah, I need more flash. I can't wait till the episode, the flashback, where we actually see Rose shatter Pink Diamond. I know that's going to be an episode.
I think Rose shattering Pink Diamond might have ended the war. It's just like, whoa, she killed a diamond. We got to get out of here.
I don't think so, because how Jasper was acting, I think she was pretty mad. I think a lot of those gems were pretty mad, and I don't like. Let's say they shattered Rose Quartz, Garnet and Pearl wouldn't just stop fighting. Like I'm pretty sure they go crazy, yeah. So I really don't know what ended the war. That's a good question. They don't really talk about like, they just say they won, but they don't really say how they won. I think Pink Diamond being shattered had a bit to do with it, but I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know.
I hate when shows do this. Like they'll introduce something super early, and then towards the end we finally get the flashback. But we've been getting like bits and pieces throughout the entire show. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would hope that Steven Universe goes out on its own terms. I know the regular show creator said that they'll continue the show as long as Cartoon Network allows them for his show personally. So I don't know. And then we have stuff like Adventure Time. Adventure Time's been going on since forever now, and that's gonna end. And then even the creator, like, I don't think he left the show, but he like stepped down from his high position in the show. But I had some other opinions that I didn't really go through. I thought the cluster plot line was built up too much for the way that it ended. Like, I expected the cluster to be like this big threat, but it's just these gem shards that were shattered and confused, and then Steven brought them together.
Yeah, I agree with you, because it ended right when the season started, so it was kind of, they really kind of got that out of the way with. I mean, I'm content with it. I think it's a cool way. I think it was weird because it was so early in the season too. I mean, it was season 3, but into like this season, it was so early when they like defeated it. But I think the build up was pretty cool though. I'm pretty content with it. I think it's weird though. I do agree. It's weird way how they kind of fix that, and I feel like that might come back. I don't know if they're gonna all be forming gyms and pop out the ground. I'm not sure how that's gonna. Like it's because they're supposed to like find each other and connect with each other. That's what Steven's whole thing. But yeah, I'm interested with them. I feel like that cluster's gonna come back later, but I don't exactly know how. So.
I thought it was going to come back in the form of Jasper falling into the cluster and like using that, like fusing with the gems or the shards or whatever. But Jasper apparently fell into the ocean.
Yeah, just into the water. Yeah,
that's what happened. I mean, they ended this plot in like 1 or 2 episodes, and all the hype that it got. It's like, we're building this drill, and they built the drill longer than the cluster was in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's whatever. I just thought like in too deep. I was like, I thought we were gonna cover something heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that heavy. I had to say this, but as the show goes on, it gets more plot heavy, and it almost feels like the episodes in Beach City are like filler in a way, because they don't really affect the main plot.
I definitely kind of agree. I think they realize that too. That's why these episodes are more character driven when they go back to Beach City, because they're probably like, oh, let's build the world at least more, because it's weird. They're cool, because you mentioned this earlier. They're cool kind of making it more light, because it'd be a lot of heavy story. Then we get to this, and they do have their little story aspects into it, like maybe Steven gets a new power, or like a character gets more of a backstory. But yeah, it does feel kind of like filler, but I think it's just like a show like this with so many episodes and like how it flows. I think it's just how it has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not filler, but I mean, they're probably going to keep up with it. It's going to be canon, but it just feels like filler because it's so separated from the action and the story-driven plots.
Yeah. Definitely.
I thought Lapis and Peridot were great together in this season. Funny scenes all around.
Yeah, okay, I was surprised that they, especially that episode, Beta, I was so surprised that they got along so well. Like, they were kind of like a little married couple. Like, especially when like the rubies were going to the moon, and then Peridot was just kind of holding on to Lapis, just like, we're just gonna stay here. Like, and so I really did. I was surprised they connected so well. I don't know why it worked out that way, but I'm glad it did.
I'm kind of glad they did it like fast, and not really fast, but they just did it instead of like spending an episode on it.
Yeah, like showing us. Yeah,
we don't need an episode for everything, and it's just like, Lapis and Peridot have been living with each other for a little bit. That's a thing, and they've gotten closer. We don't really need to see it. It works.
Yeah, because we knew about the barn mates episode when they like decided to live together. So I'm glad it's on a positive uprise. Because even when Amethyst was walking there, she was like, it's gonna be a mess, and then they turned the barn into a giant art show, and they're just kind of like watching that Gravity Falls rip-off TV show. So,
what was it called? Meat Morph?
Oh yeah, Meat Morph. That's what their art is called.
Because they didn't know the word for art.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought this season was amazing. Compared to other seasons, we had a lot more of the good plot-driven episodes, or episodes that just made you jump out of your seat. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, great episode all around, honestly.
Did you want to go into the favorite episodes now?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Do you have yours out right now? You can start first.
Okay. The first episode I picked is Super Watermelon Island. And this episode shows us that the Watermelon Stevens have created a community for themselves. They have families and all that. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then Malachite is back, and they offer a Watermelon Steven to her as like a offering or something. Yeah. And then that Steven ends up getting eaten. Steven wakes up, he tells the gems, they head to Mask Island, form Alexandrite, and then they take her down. It was a good fight, and it was a good way to start the season off.
Absolutely.
Okay, so...
Oh, you want me to go now?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just going to list all yours, and then I was going to list mine.
No, last time we went back and forth. I think it's better that way.
Yeah, all right.
We don't want someone talking for like 10 minutes or something.
Hit the Diamond. I'll start from the beginning of the season, and I'll build up too. Hit the Diamond, where we meet the Rubies. I thought that was a funny episode, and then especially seeing more Rubies there, it just kind of made it it made it, you know, I don't know, and then seeing their different personalities, it just made the universe bigger, and like the extent of like the personalities of the gems could definitely be like anything too. And I like, and even like you can see how serious Yellow Diamond is to come get like her whatever, like because they came to get Jasper, so it seems how much Yellow Diamond wants Jasper. And it's funny how she didn't really care about Peridot. She just wanted Jasper. So I think that was a really really funny episode. There was a lot of cool baseball puns because Lapis was playing baseball, and then she just didn't care, but she did extremely well. And Ruby and Sapphire were hitting on each other. Oh, and Ruby was also pretending to be one of the Rubies. So yeah. It was a lot of really funny moments in that episode.
I guess this is kind of random, but I like Lapis's personality compared to like the other gems, because like as the show goes on, you get all these characters. It's kind of hard to like make them all different, but I think they did a good job of making Lapis different from.
She's more like the straight, super serious man. Like she plays like the straight man. That's kind of what her character is, but she's more serious, and you can even argue kind of emo a little bit with it.
Oh man, too deep.
just saying that's like, I feel like that's like her character, but she does have like her lighthearted moments, especially when she's with Steven or Peridot. But she also, like, if someone tells her a joke, like when Peridot's like, fly us in, Lapis, and she's like, no, and then it just cuts.
Yeah, I love that. She just says it like nonchalantly.
Yeah. So I think I'm glad each character is different. Like even Peridot's very much more over dramatic and like a narcissist in a way, and these characters very much like stand out. And I love it. I really do. I'm loving the crystal gems and these characters being introduced.
There were so many episodes, so I kind of had trouble like going through all of them. Like, hey, was this a favorite episode or not? So I'm not sure if Hit the Diamond was a favorite episode for me or not, but I don't know. Check my Twitter from way back then. But again, I like the parts when they're going through all their names and Lapis is just like Bob.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll go to my next episode. So, Mr. Greg was their first musical episode, and I thought it was fantastic. Greg is now rich, so him and Steven are going to Empire City to live the good life. And Steven wants to bring Pearl with them, and this leads to Greg and Pearl seemingly fixing their relationship with the whole they both loved Rose thing. And we didn't get anything else on this, but I'd love to see more on that. And I thought it would be interesting if she fell for Greg or something, but I brought that up earlier. So
Yeah. Before I go to the next episode, I forgot to mention Same Old World, where we saw a little bit of Lapis's backstory. I did like that episode a lot. I thought that was really cool. I like the art style when they were all more kind of flat. And I enjoyed that one a lot. I can't really remember.
It was like a storybook.
Yeah.
Way of telling her backstory.
Yeah. And I thought that was a really cool episode. I actually enjoyed that a lot. And I agree with you also. Mr. Greg was one of my favorite. The musical aspect was really cool. I liked how they built the arc around the story with the music and stuff like that. And yeah, seeing that relationship, starting to blossom. Definitely a favorite. Definitely worth it. So I guess I agreed with you on that episode. That was my favorite one too.
It's a really good episode.
Yeah. I'll just say a little bit. Too Short to Ride was cool just because of Peridot's mental powers.
Yeah, Too Short to Ride is definitely one of my favorites from this season. So Steven ends up giving Peridot a tablet since she doesn't have all her technology anymore.
There was there was a Tinder app on there, and that was so funny, like on the tablet. And I was like, whoa.
Wasn't there a Twitter one too or something?
Yeah. It was so weird.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode though. I guess I don't need to go through the description of it. I guess people have already seen it. But like basically Amethyst, Steven, and Peridot, they go to like Funland, and Peridot really isn't having fun. She can't shapeshift, all that stuff. She wants to win this alien toy, but she can't win the game. And they're trying to teach her how to shapeshift, and she can't do it. So Amethyst tries to throw her tablet into the sea, and that's something I don't really advise doing. And then we learn that Peridot has metal powers, and I'm not sure how Steven determined this from just a look. Like, I was personally thinking telekinesis. And I actually got into an argument with someone, and they got upset with me. And I was just trying to say it's strange to come to the conclusion of metal powers from just a tablet. Like, I'm pretty sure most people would think telekinesis, but I don't know. And yes, she was using her hands, but I've seen telekinesis depicted like that, even if it's like using your mind.
Yeah, she was using her feet when she was doing, I forget what episode. She was using her feet too. I think she was playing those instruments.
Yeah, so like, how do you say that's mental powers?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they just think it's mental powers, and it might turn out to be more of like a telekinesis thing. Because yeah, she was playing a lot of those instruments, and I don't know if they were all metal based. I'm trying to think now. I don't.
Yeah, wasn't she playing the drums?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know now.
But I guess I'll go into my next one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I liked the new Lars. It seemed like people online didn't really like this episode, and I'm not sure why. But Steven, he wakes up in Lars's body, and he lives the day like that, and we learn more about Lars. It seems like he reads inappropriate magazines, he's a bad student, and, well, his so-called friends hate him, but we already knew that.
We already knew that.
And your parents shouldn't have to sit down with you and talk to you about your grades. Like, something's wrong with Lars, man.
Oh, absolutely.
And, what?
I said absolutely.
Yeah, and then the cool kids, they dislike him. And they liked Lars more as Steven than himself. And Sadie, she likes Lars, but feels like he only hangs out with her when it's convenient for him. And then she wants to know how he feels. So Steven, as Lars, says that he's in love with her, which freaks her out, and she ends up kicking him out. But he tells her that he's Steven, and then they go see what happened to Lars. And this episode was definitely more mature, in my opinion. And Lars may be a jerk, but I would like to learn more about him. He's a very interesting character.
Yeah, I thought this was a cool episode too. Yeah, everything you said. I definitely agree with all that.
I think you talked about this, or either I talked about this, but Lars is like almost regressed as a character because he had development earlier on.
Yeah, I think they kind of, because it seemed like he built him up, especially the relationship with Sadie, and then I think after that island incident, they definitely. Or maybe more or less after that haunted house one, that he kind of just went down. And
well, I mean, he never really changed in that episode. That's
true. But I'll argue that he changed in the island episode more or less.
Definitely.
And yeah, he definitely regressed. And I don't exactly know why they're going for that. I really would like to see him advance more. I hope from now on he's only advancing, because it's kind of getting annoying because everyone's being so nice to him, and if he just realizes that. But I think it's also just a testament to his character, because he doesn't have as much confidence in himself, and I don't think he necessarily even loves himself as a character, which you can see too. So I think that just might be a testament to that type of character he is. But I really hope he takes like a 180 and like he starts growing, because I feel like he could be a really cool character, because he's done some great things, especially in that island episode. And then I think if he ever gets in that relationship with Sadie, that would definitely change him for the better. So, I don't know. I hope something like that happens.
I would say keep his personality, but still leave like a little of the meanness in there. Yeah. Because like, we don't want him to change completely.
Yeah, just make him not as much of like a douche. Like, I mean, like he can. I don't mind his personality. He just does some things that are just like, why are you being so frustrating? Like, his actions are just more annoying to me.
And then, like, the cool kids, like, Lars got pissed off at Steven for, like, being in his body, but isn't Steven in the wrong for that? Like, the cool kids were trying to protect Steven. I'm like, but Steven, it's Steven's fault, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All this stuff happened. I want to see more about his relationship with Ronaldo. I kind of wanted more on that, but again, we haven't gotten more on that.
Yeah, I don't think there can necessarily be more. Maybe like a redemption between the two, kind of like with the Greg and Pearl. Mm-hmm. But I
don't know if they would hang out anymore.
Yeah, I think unless they were like forced together.
Ronaldo's too weird. Honestly, I'd be like, yeah, man. I was thinking about trying, but you've gotten too weird.
Yeah, Ronaldo is like annoying too. And I think that's why they can probably both get together. Because if Lars leaves the cool kids and actually hangs out with Sadie and Ronaldo, he'd probably be much more happier. So, I mean, I feel like they're probably eventually going to get to that point. But as for now, yeah, I think that's what they're going to be aiming for. Because Ronaldo doesn't have any friends either. So,
and he has his brother.
Yeah, but that's more or less a direct Steven friend. And he's not even as much that, but I'm saying like age-wise. And I feel like I like that character too, the brother. And if they ever decide to put all the kids together and them going on adventures or something like that, like Connie's already joined the crew. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd kind of be next.
Would he just throw his prize?
I feel like he'd eventually do something because he's had his little courageous moments, like when that Fry Man came to life. That was really the creepiest episode. But I feel like
I think the creepiest episode was when Steven went to Onion's house.
That was also very creepy. That
was weird.
Yeah, that was probably more weird. That was a super weird episode when he ate that mouse. But yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you.
I thought things were going to get weird. I know we're spending a long time on this episode, but I thought things were going to get weird with Sadie and Lars when they were like in her room. And then she's like, how do you feel about me? And I'm like, no, Stevenson, Lars' body. This is the worst time.
Yeah. I was like, this could be really awkward for Steven. And yeah. I guess one of my favorite episodes was Alone at Sea. That one had to take the cake. Because there was so many themes in that episode, and the main one that really stood out was abusive relationships, and they handled that so well. And it was so great of an episode. And then this episode technically started Jasper's small little arc in the story, and yeah, it was a great episode. I think it was a cool closure episode for Lapis, and I think after this moment, she won't necessarily be afraid to fuse with anyone again. And I feel like her next fusion could probably be with either Steven or Peridot. So I'm excited for that. Speaking of Peridot, I feel like she's going to fuse soon. And that's probably either going to be with, again, Lapis or Garnet. Because when Garnet made that offer, I kind of really wanted to see that.
That scene was weird.
Yeah, no, that scene kind of like a pressure, like she was kind of pressuring Peridot in a way. But I'm interested. I am, and I think everyone wants to see that Peridot Garnet fusion because I don't know what that would look like and what that personality would be like. But
does Peridot even have a weapon?
But I think they probably use the telekinesis metal bending.
Does that count as a weapon? The weapon has to come out of your gym, doesn't it? Well, no, we have
because Lapis doesn't. Yeah, Lapis doesn't have a weapon either. Which I want to know also, why do some gyms have weapons and some don't? That because Lapis is an older gym, so I would think she would have a weapon. Peridot made sense because she said she was newer, and then a lot of those gyms just didn't have weapons. So maybe Lapis has a weapon. I don't. She's already super OP, but
yeah, Lapis seems like one of the strongest gyms.
Yeah, so
besides like the diamonds.
Yeah, so I'm confused exactly on that front. But yeah, Alone at Sea was a great episode. A lot of great things. And then, yeah, just that conversation between Jasper and Peridot, and Jasper wanting to take her back. And then that whole, yeah, it was very much an abusive relationship. And they handled that very well.
I thought the episode had like a lot of funny scenes between Steven, Greg, and Lapis. And then we had like Lapis's straightforward personality, like you said. They did like some different things, like trying to have Lapis be captain and showing her fishing and all that. And then we saw that there was a problem with the ship, and then we learned that Lapis actually misses Jasper. And I thought that was a little bit odd. And then Jasper comes back and wants to be fused with Lapis again. And like you said, it seems like an abusive relationship. Like this seems like very much a real relationship.
Yeah,
like,
it really is, yeah.
Like even though you're getting abused or something like that, you still want to be with this person. You kind of miss them. And it's kind of messed up, but I mean, I like the way that they're putting this in the cartoon. I like the way that they're portraying this.
Yeah.
But Lapis ends up knocking Jasper back.
Yeah, she chooses that she doesn't want to go back to that because she said she was liking the way they were fused. She was liking the way that they were treating each other. And again, that is like an abusive relationship. So it was a great episode.
You know a weird way of handling it? They could have had Jasper being like, you want to come back.
Oh, yeah, if they did, yeah. But I think that would have probably been pushing it too much. But no, yeah, she could definitely, yeah. That would have been wild. That would have been crazy.
Now, I want to talk about an episode that I didn't like, so this won't count as a like, but it seems like a lot of people liked Beach City Drift, and I didn't really get it. Like, yeah, it's an initial D reference, but the episode was almost just a throwaway episode because it doesn't really affect anything overall. And I didn't even know that Kevin was considered an actual character. I thought he was a throwaway character, or like a one-time character.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it.
I think the point of that episode was showing Steven and Connie that they shouldn't just fuse for like their own personal, like not personal reason, for like a reason that, you know, they both don't equally think is important, I guess. Like
they should fuse for Kevin. I know they gave like a reason in the episode, but I forgot.
Yeah, but I think that's the main point, because like being fused is such a intimate thing, and they were doing that just to get back at Kevin, and that's super messed up. So I think that was more or less the point. I thought it was a cool episode. I liked it though. I liked it just because of that moment. I think that moment really made the episode for me, at least.
I think it's an episode that sounds cool on paper, but like the way I just didn't really like it. But I had different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
One episode that I wanted to go back to, the one that you didn't talk about, was Monster Reunion, and I thought this was an interesting episode because we got to see Steven's healing powers return, and we know that he can use it on gems. So he used it on Centipedal, and we learned more about her before she was corrupted. She was a captain of a crew who was sent to Earth, and they got caught in the gem war, and she was separated from her friends. And then one of the diamonds, you say White Diamond, shot some light on the planet, and then that ended up corrupting her and other gems. And this is interesting because I think we learned that there are no corrupted gems on Homeworld later in this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of cool things were introduced in that episode. Like we talked about it earlier too, like the possibilities of like is White Diamond in charge of this? Why did they decide to corrupt all these gems and all that type of thing? So I missed that episode by accident, but that one's definitely a favorite too. And I think Monster Reunion and Alone at Sea being back to back made that a really like, you know, action packed, like a cool little 2-episode thing.
It would make sense if White Diamond was in charge, because when you think about a diamond, what do you think about? A white diamond.
A white diamond, yeah.
So, yeah. I think it's you.
Now, I want to say it would be. It's just tough. It's between Crack the Whip and Steven versus Amethyst, and I feel like those are pretty much one whole episode combined, because it's pretty much back to back, and the actions of Crack the Whip at the end kind of affect the Steven versus Amethyst. But I think that because of what that happens, that Steven and Amethyst's relationship gets stronger, and we learn more about, you know, Amethyst's feelings, and that was kind of like we learned also that Jasper is what Amethyst was supposed to look like, but she's a lot shorter and she's weaker than Jasper. So, and we also learned that the only way Jasper gets defeated in the series, and I feel like that's also kind of a joke, is through fusion. Like no one else can defeat her by themselves. It has to be with fusion, and that also shows like her own power level. But yeah,
I feel like Jasper has a point though. Like I brought this up in my review. The only time the gems can beat Jasper is with fusion, and I feel like in a way that shows that the gems are weak, because Garnet is a fusion. What was the other one? Stevani is a fusion, and then Smoky Quartz is a fusion.
Yeah. And then
they can't beat Jasper on their own. Like none of them can.
Yeah, but I think it also shows that, you know, the crystal gems have more tactics, because Homeworld just doesn't fuse. So, and that's their fault. And so, I mean, if they want to get stronger, then they're just fuse. Like I think that's the problem. Yeah, I do see Jasper's point too. And a cool thing about the episode, she's obsessed with fusion in a way as well. I thought they were gonna play that up more in the show, but they kind of didn't. But
I thought the fight between Jasper and Amethyst was pretty epic.
Yeah, and when she's like falling in front of her,
yeah, it's like such an anime shot.
Yeah, that was cool. I really did like that too.
And apparently Jasper lives in the sea now. Like that's
yeah, because I think that has a lot to do with that connection with Lapis, because Lapis was all water, and then they were in the sea for so long too. So I feel like it's weird that she can swim so well too. So, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
But in Crack the Whip, Amethyst does end up getting poofed, and then she reforms. She has like a white T-shirt now. I think you said her hair is more wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if her hair always covered her eye, but
I think because I think they probably wanted to draw her differently because I think that's all the characters now. They're making their hair different. Well, besides Garnet necessarily and Steven.
Can't mess with the fro, man.
Yeah, besides Garnet and Steven. But I think it just looks better when these animated characters have not like crazy wild hair, but it just looks more natural than just like straight like plain. So I think that's also a big reason they did that.
It's also nice to change the character's design after a while. Like, you don't want to have the same design like for however long this show is going to go on.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Even though it's like subtle, it's still good to have like a different design.
That's a great point because anytime they break apart and they fuse back, they get a new design. Like when Steven and I don't know if when not Steven
Garnet?
When Garnet was destroyed the first time and she came back, she had a new design. And then that's the same for like
Pearl
and then Amethyst a few times. So and then that also brings up not necessarily my favorite episode, but when the final episode, the Bubbled, when Steven was like, okay, if she takes my gem, what happens to me? So that's a great point. I actually never thought of that. Like, he can't necessarily be poofed, I don't think. So I don't know.
There was I thought it was awesome. I'm going back to Crack the Whip, but I thought it was awesome when Steven and Connie fused together on the spot to save Amethyst and make Jasper leave. I wouldn't really say that they defeated her, though. And for some reason, I don't know if you noticed this, but Stevani's design looked very skinny in this episode. Like, I don't know what happened there. It was drawn weird.
I didn't really notice that. I noticed that her hair was wild and Amethyst was looking at her and kind of, I think, was remembering a lot of Rose.
Another anime shot?
Yeah, I really think that's what they were doing with that aspect of it. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't notice that, though.
I thought Steven being stronger than Amethyst was great. Like, it shows how his character has progressed and how Amethyst, I guess, like, isn't really getting stronger. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing with Jasper's insults messing up Amethyst and having that plot line continue for the next few episodes, I thought that was good. Mm-hmm. They had like a continuing plot. Anything else on this episode?
Nope.
All right, well, I'm going to do mine now. I'm going to go back because I have one that you missed. Well, we have different episodes, but anyway. Greg the babysitter. I think any episode with a Greg flashback is great. I feel like we need a Greg universe spin-off series. I would love that. And this episode is basically about how Greg came to work at the car wash. He needs money, and he ends up babysitting Sour Cream, who is pretty much the same as a baby. And he leaves Sour Cream with Rose for a little bit, and then the baby goes missing because I think she said that she let him do whatever he wanted. And he's like on the ride at Funland now. So I think Greg and Rose try to rescue Sour Cream. It doesn't really work out. So at the end of the day, Rose has to rescue both of them. Yeah. And then he ends up giving Sour Cream back to Vidalia, and he applies the car wash. This episode wasn't really about the car wash. I don't understand why it was like a story about how he came to work there. He just signed up.
Yeah.
Like a regular job.
Well, I think it was kind of a build-up because it kind of also, the theme is like, in a way, giving up your dreams to like make money, because like he wasn't making money. Well, he would have made a lot of money, but Marty never told him about like the big check that he got. So I think he was choosing to be someone who could make money for himself and kind of prosper over like his art, which he wasn't really necessarily doing that either, because he was kind of getting obsessed with Rose in a way. And I think this is a cool episode also because it showed how the crystal gems treated babies, and it made sense to why Greg didn't want Steven over there when he was a baby, because they probably would have just let him do whatever he wanted and he probably would have got hurt. So, and also seeing Sour Cream as a baby and still having the same voice, that was really funny. And him just wanting to be the cool baby, I thought that was a cool little aspect to it.
Do you know how old Greg and Vidalia were in this special? I was thinking like in their 20s, maybe.
See, I don't know, because I made a Steven Universe reaction. I mean, a theory about like, onion and sour cream being related. And it was weird because like at that age, I think he was still very. I don't even think he was in his 20s when he first met Pearl. And then I need to go back to that theory, but it was kind of like they said it was only over like 10 years until they decided to have Steven. But at that point, Greg was an old bald, pretty much bald with like the beard. So I don't know exactly how old Greg is, or like. It's weird. They didn't really explain that well to me. I think also Greg just ages very poorly because Vidalia is older, but it's not like the same way for Greg. Marty looks terribly old though. So
yeah, he's like going bald and everything.
Yeah, so I'm really confused at how old they all are during all of this. Because you could say they're in their 20s, but I think Greg was fairly young when he was with Marty. So I really don't know. I feel
like 20s is like a good age where you might have a child. And I mean, she was with Marty, so maybe it was early 20s or something.
Yeah, but I think that was all just an accident too. So
I can't believe they included that.
Yeah.
Because I was watching the episode, I was like, why does Greg look disgusted? Did they just? Yeah. And then it's like, oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. And it comes full circle now. It makes complete sense now. So.
I'm on the wiki page right now. There's no age listed for Greg, so
yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I don't think he's as old as he looks, but I really don't know.
His character design looks so different as an adult.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it almost doesn't look right. But I don't know. That's me. I think it's on you. Next episode.
I like the Bismuth episode a lot. Just to show what type of person Rose Quartz was, because it seems that everyone holds her at such high regards when they're talking about her, but as someone who cared so much about her, she poofed her, and then she didn't tell the rest of the crystal gems about what happened. She just kind of made a secret. She left her in this lion that no one knew about, the lion also. So she pretty much left Bismuth to stay there forever. And it's interesting. It's weird and it's interesting, and I really don't understand. It puts more character on Rose Quartz as a person.
I think I left a comment on your video about this. Basically, I don't see the problem with poofing Bismuth and leaving her in line just because of what she was about to.
Yeah, I don't see the problem. I think she just should have told them, and that's the big thing. Bismuth said too, like, you acted like you cared about us, but you didn't even tell our friends what you did to me. And I think that's more the problem. It's not that she poofed her; it's that she didn't tell anyone about it.
But she wanted to kill. Well, not kill. I guess shattering. Like we talked about that before. But she wanted to shatter the gems.
She could have still told them though. Like that seems like a decision you shouldn't just make on your own. Like just poofing a friend and then locking them up and not telling anyone about it and saying that you lost her.
I mean, if a friend tells me, "Hey, man, I'm gonna kill some people," I'm gonna call the police right away.
Okay, yes, but I'm not saying what she did was wrong about poofing. I just think she should have told them. She just didn't tell anybody. She lied about it.
Well, I guess that
that's the thing about it, and it shows the difference between Steven and Rose, because it's showing that Steven is a better person in theory than Rose is.
I still wouldn't criticize Rose for doing it, but I probably would have told someone as well.
Yeah, I just think the problem is she just didn't tell anybody. That's the thing, and she lied about it.
It is a little odd to not tell anyone about it, because it is kind of important.
Yeah, this is a friend to everybody, and then you lie, say that you lost her or whatever, and you don't actually say that she's actually in my lion, which the lion you also didn't tell about to anyone as well. So, which I can't wait to see the backstory about Lion whenever we get to that, if we ever get to that, which I think we will.
Lion is Rose.
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know about that, but maybe like a part of her. I feel like Rose is Steven. Like we're still gonna go with that.
Yeah, because Rose. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Lion.
Maybe she like created him, or maybe she's like part of his gem or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Steven and Lion fusion confirmed. You heard it here first.
That would be interesting. That would be super. Like he could already fuse with Connie. Maybe. Maybe.
But I guess. Wait, no, I had some stuff about Bismuth. What was that?
Oh, sorry, I accidentally pressed something.
Um, I guess like everything's already been covered in my review, but I just didn't really like Bismuth as a character. I thought there were two good episodes, or it was like one whole episode. It was longer than usual. And they had like the eye catches, like an anime episode. I thought that was cool. But overall, I just didn't really like Bismuth as a character, and I didn't really feel bad for her. I mean, like, you want to shatter gems, so I mean, you kind of deserve to get stabbed and then get bubbled. But you know, just my opinion. I feel like it's a character that can't be redeemed, and I feel like that would be a good lesson.
I think it's just, sorry to cut you off, but I think the whole point of why she wanted to shatter gems, because she thought that was the only answer, because that's what they did with Yellow Diamond. Pink Diamond. And I don't know if that was before or after. You know, I don't know if I want to say that like the thing with Bismuth was after they shattered Pink Diamond.
I feel like it was before because. I think the event with Pink Diamond might have ended the war, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I want more backstory on that
so I would feel like Bismuth would be before that.
I really do think Bismuth can be redeemed, and she's definitely going to be back because again, she's the reason she poofed Lapis. So I think I want to see that.
I don't know about that because someone left a comment on my video saying that is a different Bismuth.
They can't just... How would they know that? We don't even know that.
I think they said the crew might have confirmed it, but I couldn't find any information on it.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
But there is one thing that I did point out in the video that I did on that. The Bismuth has longer dreads than the one that we see.
Well, that was definitely a concept drawing. Like, that was way in another season. This is definitely in a final drawing of that one.
I don't know. Everything seems very planned out with this show.
I know, but I'm saying they could have expanded more on the drawing because she didn't even have like an apron or anything like that one who poofed Lapis. And
that's the defining feature of her, the apron.
I'm just saying. I think they make everything so meticulous, and I think they showed this gem that we haven't even seen yet, and then she gets reintroduced in the next season. I would think, and especially we know how violent Bismuth was, and of course she was out there just. Poofing gems that probably didn't have anything to do with the war because Lapis had probably nothing to do with the war. She just happened to be on Earth.
Yeah, she was just like visiting.
So I especially knowing what type of character Bismuth was, I really think it's that one. I 100% think it's that one. I don't think they'd show a different one and then be like, oh, they're different Bismuths. I think it's definitely because if that was the case, they wouldn't have shown who poofed Lapis. They just would have said she was poofed.
It's a good mystery. They planned it out.
Yeah,
all the way.
So I'm interested. I want to see that come full circle because I know it will. I know she's gonna come back. I know Jasper's gonna come back. I know Cenopedo's gonna come back. So and I know at least one of the rubies are definitely gonna come back. So I'm excited to see what that comes back to.
Jeez, how many people do you want to join the Crystal Gems?
No, I don't. I'm not saying they have to join. I just want them characters to come back.
But there was one thing I was talking about earlier, and like how I think Bismuth can't be redeemed, and I think that would be a good lesson for Steven and the gems. And we can make it go even further and compare Bismuth and Jasper. So Bismuth would be the one that couldn't be redeemed, and then Jasper would be the one that is redeemed and actually ends up joining. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna unpoof her because they're not gonna keep her there forever.
I mean, they haven't unpoofed any other gems besides
all the other ones are corrupted. I think the only ones who are whole is Bismuth because Jasper's even corrupted right now. So,
but Steven, I don't know. He could have saved her. I'm not sure. Anything else? I kind of interrupted you, so
no.
Okay. Well, I'll do my episode. So. Beta, this is the episode where Steven and Amethyst go visit Peridot and Lapis, and they've been working on the barn. They made it more home-like. And Steven tells Peridot about what happened, so they end up going to Jasper's kindergarten. And then they learn that Jasper came out perfectly, and she's been capturing corrupted gems for an army. So then Amethyst sees her, and the episode ends, and I thought that was a really epic ending that goes right into the next episode.
Yeah.
If you had anything, I want to do Earthlings too, but did you have anything for Beta?
No, I mean I agree with you too. I like Beta and Earthlings, so you can just
they kind of go together.
Yeah.
So Earthlings is the rematch between Jasper and Amethyst. So Amethyst, she ends up losing the fight once again, but Steven is there to comfort her about her shortcomings, you know, like, I'm small too, blah, 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 blah. And they're just something, or what does this say? Yeah, the shortcomings, they're just something that you have to live with, and you just have to get over them. So they end up fusing into smoky quartz. And it was funny because, like, while the moment was going on, it's just like, I think an amethyst and a rose quartz makes a smoky quartz, and they come up with the name on the spot. I'm not too big on the design of the smoky quartz, but I think her theme music is cool, but she looks pretty silly. So then Jasper fuses with the corrupted gem to fight back, and she ends up losing the fight. And then Jasper ends up getting corrupted herself because she fused with the corrupted gem. And she did talk about how fusion was the only trick that the gems knew, and I personally think she's not wrong. They've only defeated her with fusion. If it was on equal ground, one-on-one, they'd probably lose like Jasper did. And then Jasper also talks about how Rose pretty much picks up gems at their weakest point, and then she builds them up, and I think that's pretty true. Steven tries to heal Jasper, but she attacks him and scratches his shirt. And then we learn that her diamond is actually pink diamond. And then she becomes corrupted all the way, and then Peridot is actually the one to defeat her.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a great episode because we got introduced to a new fusion. We see Steven fusing with someone else beside Connie, even though I don't like Smoky Quartz design.
Like, what's up with the 3 arms?
I think it's pretty awkward looking, and I think that's pretty much what you would get with a Steven and Amethyst. So, I mean, I can't necessarily blame them, but yeah, those 2 episodes were really great. That final moment where Jasper's explaining who her diamond is very much, and then we also see who Rose Quartz's diamond is, which was pink diamond. So it kind of expands on that. So I'm actually very excited to learn more. And yeah, it was a very solid episode for me.
So what was she was like, my diamond, your diamond, pink diamond.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if this is rude to say, but Smoky Quartz's design, it's like awkwardly fat. And I don't know, it looks weird to me. But again, they're both like bigger characters. But I think that's like part of the reason why it looks weird. If it was like small, like Amethyst or Steven, I think I'd be more okay with it. And if it had like 4 arms instead of like 3 or 2 arms. Because I don't know what's up with the 3 arms. I feel like that's something that needs to be explained.
I think because when Garnet and Amethyst fuse, the Sugalite, they have 4 arms. But that's 3 characters. And
some
so
people think it's Steven.
Maybe every time they've... Okay, I understand now. Maybe when Amethyst fuses with other gems we've seen so far, they all have 4 arms. But because Steven is half human, half gem, it doesn't get all 4 arms. It just gets 3 of the arms. I think that's probably how they wanted to explain that. It looks weird, but I think that's what... And it's weird that her thing's a yo-yo. But I think that's what that means, at least.
I thought it was cool. Like, they took the shield and then they mixed it with the whip, and then it became a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really cool weapon. But one thing that was kind of different is that Smoky Quartz summoned Steven and Amethyst's weapons separately, and then the other gems have the weapons already fused together.
Not all the time. I've seen a few times that they get all the weapons and they put them together. I think they did that with the first time we met the giant woman.
Wait, Opal?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she put the 2 weapons combined. I'm pretty sure we've seen that before.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm wrong on that, so.
Yeah.
But if we're done with that, I think there's one more episode.
Mm-hmm.
So. Unless you didn't want to cover that one.
I mean, there's only 2 more episodes left, and I like them both. So. I mean,
oh yeah, there were 2 episodes. I was thinking. I didn't write down.
You're thinking of Back to the Moon and Bubbled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I liked it a lot. I liked both of those episodes a lot. It was cool to learn more about Pink Diamond, and then learn more about what Rose did to Pink Diamond, shattering her. I think that was great, and also getting reintroduced with these 5 characters coming back from Neptune, which is pretty funny. And then Bubbled having that conversation between Steven and Eyeball, and then learning that that Steven can't necessarily save everyone. I think that's what the conclusion came to Bubbled. Because even though he helped heal Eyeball, and it seems like in the past that's what he's done, all these people he helped heal and befriend, they actually became his friends. It didn't work this time. This person still wanted to kill him and take his diamond. And then it kind of ended with Steven kind of getting super depressed and his bubble getting smaller, and he drifts off into space. That's actually super depressing. And then he gets saved by the crystal gems, and they all just start crying. And Steven's like, did she really shatter? Or why did she shatter Pink Diamond? I forget what Garnet said. I think it was like...
She said that she didn't always do what was best for herself, but
she did it for Earth,
yeah,
she did what was best for Earth. And I think, this was a great episode. I think from Beta and Bubble, they were all back to back to back to back. So it's a cool little mini arc in that aspect of it as well. So I love these episodes. Great episodes, great season, and if you have anything to say about those episodes.
I think like the effects of what Rose has done still kind of affect them till today.
And and I've been saying that in all my everything that she's done, especially the negative things, are really coming back full throttle at Steven, and that's kind of unfair to Steven and unfair to the rest of the Crystal Gems.
Yeah, because Steven has to live with like Rose's problems.
Yeah, and we're really seeing that aftermath. Like, and I think I noticed that the most with Bismuth when she came back, and then Jasper, and then with the diamonds. Like, it's coming back at her, and even the relationships that Steven has to deal with in Seela, because now she has to deal with Amethyst. She has to deal with that Pearl, and then Pearl and Greg's relationship he had to deal with. So it's like, it's these things that she left. And she didn't fully solve, or she didn't fully realize what's happening. And now Steven has to grow up. And we're seeing in this season that Steven is getting more mature, and he's dealing with these problems in different ways. And,
It shows how fixated people are on Rose, because Jasper calls him Rose. The Ruby thought he was Rose. Who else calls him Rose? Bismuth thought he was Rose. Like, people are really fixated on Rose, whether that's like in a positive way, like them loving her, or just being friends or whatever. Yeah. And then you have like the people that hate her because of what she's done.
Yeah, no matter who it is, they had such strong feelings towards Rose, if it was negative or positive. Those feelings, and they lasted for like thousands of years. So, especially with like Jasper, like that fight was like 2,000 years ago, and then that's still coming over. Bismuth's been bubbled, that's coming over. So.
There's one thing I didn't cover, and this goes back to the whole thing where we were learning about Jasper. I like that Jasper, is a character that's been in the show for a while, but we actually learn more about her, and the fact that she is like perfect in a way. I like that, learning more things about characters that probably weren't obvious to most people. So I thought that was cool, but I like the part where Steven was like drifting in space. I thought that would have been a cool thing to like maybe have like a time skip at that point, and like coming back to Earth, and he's like older. But other than that, I think we're done with like our favorite episodes. Unless you have anything else.
Nope.
I think it would be interesting to see like Ruby's weapon, Garnet's Ruby. Like, I want to see her weapon, and whether it's like the same as the other Ruby or not, because the other Ruby had like a small dagger.
Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, because our Ruby has the hand thing, like the fist.
Wait, Ruby has a weapon?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, she has a fist. Our Ruby has a fist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Remember when they were split apart at the hotel, and she was mad, she used her fist to break the table.
Okay.
I don't think Sapphire has. Okay, maybe the blue gems don't have weapons, because Sapphire doesn't have a weapon, but she's OP.
She has her future vision.
Yeah, and she also has telekinesis and ice powers. Yeah, Ruby has fire powers, but I don't know if those other Rubies have fire powers. So,
I mean, most of the gems have like some form of elemental power, I think.
Well, what does Pearl and Amethyst have?
I know they have some. I think Garnet might have like electricity or something.
Well, Garnet, electricity. I think Garnet has the combination of Ruby and Sapphire. So she has but we don't. Yeah, maybe I don't know what.
Let me just look it up.
Yeah,
because I looked at this. Was it for? I don't know if it was for this video or like some reviews or something. But like the gems have powers besides like the weapons or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like some elemental stuff on here, and it's like the show is so long you don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like while I'm looking, we can go through some of the things like Pearl can summon the holograms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So she has the holograms. She can channel clouds in her direction. Pearl can do that.
Is that what she does?
Yeah, it says that. And then she can manipulate sand. Let's see. She can use her gem as a light. So stuff like that. Let's look at Amethyst. I mean, we saw the cool thing where Amethyst can do like the spin dash, and she mixed it with her whip, and she caught on fire, and she ignited the whips. Remember that?
True.
So that was fire. Yeah, but I think Garnet has a lot of abilities. I'm pretty sure Garnet's the one with the electricity. Let's see. Yeah, Garnet can generate electricity. It was in the episode The Message, where she used her electricity to charge Greg's van. So yeah, they have like interesting powers and stuff. But I guess we should get into predictions.
Yeah, let's get into predictions. You can start.
We need a full Rose flashback. And I think they're finally going to tackle one of the diamonds in Season 4. Maybe we can see Steven fuse with Pearl and Garnet at some point. And I'm still hoping for a time skip in the show. I feel like everything's not going to be covered with Steven just being a kid. Plus, the show is inspired by anime. And a lot of animes have time skips. So maybe we'll get a Steven Universe time skip. Who knows?
Yeah, I think for that, after they defeat Yellow Diamond, I think that's when we would see a time skip.
It's going to take so long, though. Like, Yellow Diamond was introduced in what, Season 2?
Yeah, but I think she's going to come in Season 4, though, because she already has probes coming down trying to get Jasper, and then she'll realize that the rubies haven't come back, so she's going to start sending more people down there.
I hope it's not like some stupid reason for like them defeating her. I hope it's like an actual fight. Like they have to defeat her.
They're going to fuse. They're definitely going to fuse.
And then Steven's going to fuse with them or something. Yeah, that'd be cool. But I guess your theories?
Yeah, I want to see more Rose flashbacks.
That could be like a whole story arc.
Honestly.
3 or 4 episode whole week episode Rose flashback. That'd be cool.
I want a fight between... I want Yellow Diamond to come to Earth. I want that fight.
Did you watch the fan animation of that? I thought I told you about it. There's a Yellow Diamond versus the Crystal Gems. Like, I think it's like a full episode that a fan made. It's pretty good.
What else do I want? I know we said a lot of this earlier in this review about like what we wanted to see. I want Jasper's redemption. I don't think they're necessarily going to take out what's her name, the one that wanted to break gems.
Bismuth?
I don't think they're going to unbubble her next season. Maybe the season after that. I think they're going to use her for like the final fight. I don't think she's going to necessarily be like a part of the Crystal Gems game. I think they're going to, give some time to like think about like this, and then they're going to unbubble her. I want to see Steven fuse with more people. I want to see Lapis fuse. I want to see Peridot fuse. And yeah, I think when Jasper gets released, I think the only person, if she would even fuse with, if people would even want to fuse with her, it would be with Amethyst.
Or Lapis.
No, I don't think it'd be with Lapis. I don't think Lapis would want to go back to that. Because that again would show like broken relationships getting back with each other.
But Lapis, you want to.
Yeah, I think Jasper would only fuse with Amethyst if they would even make her fuse with anyone at all.
That'd be interesting though.
If she doesn't fuse with anyone.
No, if she fuses with Amethyst. There is kind of a connection there.
Yeah, I really think, because she even calls her sister, I really think that's what it's going to be.
It doesn't really seem like the diamonds are all going to be defeated all together. We kind of talked about this, but it definitely seemed...
It's going to be one by one. They're going to have their own arcs.
Yeah, they definitely seem like self-contained arcs. And if we do get anything like more information on the diamonds, it'll be either on Yellow Diamond or Pink Diamond. But I feel like it's taking a while to get to these plots, and that's fine because the diamonds could be the final villains of the show. I mean, as far as we know, they're the highest gems.
Well, I mean,
but
3 seasons in, and we've already covered 2 diamonds. So,
well, I want them to like visit the diamonds. So diamonds come to Earth.
I mean, we only have 2 more diamonds that can really visit. So, I feel like we're gonna get Yellow, and then we've seen 3 diamonds already. We've seen 2 diamonds, but we've spoken of 3 diamonds already. We've seen blue and yellow, and we've spoken of pink. So
we haven't seen white diamond.
We haven't seen white, and they might say white for season 5. They're probably gonna definitely talk about her more because she has a lot. They already mentioned her with Centipedal. So yeah.
I just want to get a little more diamond action going because like these seem like the villains, but we don't see them. We have like the effects of what they do. They've sent people to Earth, but or they've sent gems to Earth, but that's about it. I'm interested in seeing how Steven's future actions differ from Rose.
Yeah.
Because the flashbacks don't really do Rose justice because her attitude seems so playful, but then they talk about how Rose was a little bit dark or something. Like, I want to see the point. I want to see Rose at her point where she's like, we have no way out. We have to shatter her gem. I want to see, like, what led her up to that.
Yeah, because I think that conversation between... well, you're talking about the flashback, but I think even that conversation between Garnet and Steven, I think Steven's going to come to a point eventually where he has to decide, okay, am I going to shatter a gem or not? Is it worth it? Or is there another way? I really do think it's going to come to that point. Steven's going to have to decide, and he'll probably choose another way, whatever that would be. But I really do see that coming full circle because it seems like everything's coming full circle back to Steven anyway, and those are definitely something that would happen.
They definitely keep pushing that, you know, Steven is different from his mother, but what if they introduce like the I guess like a plot line or something that, hey, maybe Rose actually was right. Maybe her actions were right, and Steven might actually come to the conclusion where, like, you know, I tried to be different from my mom, but her actions were correct or something.
Yeah.
Lapis, she isn't an official member of the Crystal Gems yet, and I don't think they're just gonna skip that and, you know, just have her.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. Well, maybe that might just be like a line. Like she might be like, "Oh, I thought I was already part of the Crystal Gems."
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I feel like she would have already she could have just assumed that too, because that seems like the type of character she is. Like yeah, I could definitely see that like being an option too, because she lives with Peridot. So I mean, it's kind of like. Because even though, like, they don't say directly Connie is kind of a part of the Crystal Gems, and so is Greg. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's just what she thought.
I feel like Connie would be better to bring on a mission, though. I feel like Greg, like, wouldn't be able to do anything. Like,
well, he was on that mission with Lapis, but he did break his leg or his ankle. So
yeah, they could just have him like in the background playing music or something while they're fighting. Any other predictions?
I can't think of anything. I think if next season is going to be as strong as this season with story and more character development, then, you know, I'm ready.
It should be pretty good.
Just no hiatus, no more leaked episodes. I know you wanted to talk about this, and yeah, we can get it. We can start getting into that unless you have something else to say. But
well, the hiatus is, I mean, like, it has to happen because, like, they're rushing seasons out. So we got 1 week of season 3 at the beginning of the year, and then we got like a month or two of like episodes for weeks. So I mean, like, they rushed through season 3, but a lot of people like the Steven Bomb format. So we got Steven Nuke, and the show is returning. I mean, we still have new episodes this week. It's just like 1 episode a week, like how it used to be and how most of the other shows are on Cartoon Network. But they're starting to do more weekly marathons. But I feel like anything plot driven, they might do like 2 episodes, but they're probably not going to do like a Steven Bomb because they probably don't have that many episodes to just like rush out like that.
Yeah, because now they're doing 4 more episodes, but they're going to be bi-weekly.
Wait, there's just 4 episodes?
That's what it says on the wiki. It says it's going to be one the 18th. Oh, 3 more. One the 18th, the 25th, and then September 1st.
Or maybe. Oh.
That's what it says on the wiki.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go like week by week, but it's only 3 episodes like that.
Yeah, and then just kind of stops. So,
well, I mean that's what happens when you rush a season out because like we'd probably still be on season 3 if they aired them weekly, but people probably wouldn't like that as much. But like, I don't know how the show is doing. I feel like it's probably doing great, but
it has to be, especially. But it kind of does seem weird because they did do this weird Summer of Steven and rushed out all these episodes. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird how they're releasing episodes for this series is super weird because there'd be weekly episodes and there'd be Steven's Bomb and then they do something like this Summer of Steven and they're going back to weekly episodes. It's weird to me. It's super weird.
And then Cartoon Network doesn't really advertise this that well because they only advertise new episodes when they're coming out, but they don't advertise the show any other besides that. So like, Steven's Summer Adventure's coming, or like regular show, the graduation special that was advertised, but like that's the only time we get advertisements for the shows. But I want to talk about the leaks, and I'd like to say please stop leaking the show. Like I don't know what's going on with leaks lately. Steven Universe has been getting leaked heavily, and then you have these